The news is all about a big heavy frost is coming and maybe temperatures down into the mid or lower 20s. This is going to be a hard freeze and it may last a few days. In previous video, I talked about the types of freezes. You might want to check those out. But for this, there's some special plants that you can try to protect to prevent a lot of freeze and frost damage. It's not 100%, but it can go a long way to saving some of those special specimen plants such as citrus, maybe your garden vegetables, or specific shrubs that you've planted. The few things that we can do to try to mitigate the effects of significant cold and freezing temperatures. So I'll be showing you some protection you can try. The important thing is if you use it, you apply it correctly. Let's go check this out. The first thing to do is, if you're able, move your potted plants that are frost sensitive into a location that's sheltered. Carefully tip it up and slide your dolly underneath it. These pots are heavy, and especially as a senior gardener, you want to be sure that you're not doing anything that will harm your back. So by using a dolly, you can transport this as opposed to trying to lift it. So you tip it back, and now we're going to take it to a sheltered area. In my case, I don't have an outdoor greenhouse, but I have an area that has a shed roof that's next to the house. So the shed roof will prevent frost settling, and by putting the plant near the house, it provides some warmth. So we're going to position that now. Bringing the pot over to the sheltered area is your first line of defense and protection. The plant now is close to the side of the house, and it's protected from the wind because this is the west side and there are winds that come from west-northwest. After we get all of the other pots lined up here, then we'll place the dolly on the corner. So we're going to put one of the yard waste bags that's plastic. This will help be a wind block and create a little bit more protection from the cold wind. We brought over a 5-gallon container of mulch to go around the roots. So we're going to spread it out so that we have about a 3-inch layer to help protect the roots from cold and to keep in the warmth from the earth and also moisture. The next thing to be done was to open the deer fencing area so that we could get in to protect the graft down here on the base of the citrus with an insulating wrap. You can get pipe insulation and you can put a couple of wraps. You can go even higher than we have here and just secure it. I would use duct tape to hold it in place, and that will be the best protection. Before we put the frost cloth on the tree, we're going to replace the deer fencing opening, but we don't have to close it permanently. We can just leave it resting against the support until the frost covers come down. That just goes back in place, and now it's time to do the frost covers. Frost covers come in various sizes. This I got at Lowe's. I could have gotten a larger one, except they were sold out. We're going to drape this over one side because it needs to go all the way to the bottom, all the way around the plant in order to be effective. This is a 2-person job, at least for us, and we have one frost cover on, and we're going to use some bricks and other things to hold it in place because the wind can come and whip under that and jack it up. Be sure when you're covering that it goes to the ground and that you have some way of anchoring it to the ground so that it doesn't blow. Otherwise, your seal of trying to keep warmer air inside will be completely broken. Okay, this wasn't quite large enough, so we have a second frost cover that we're going to put on this side so that the tree is completely enclosed. The front of it completely covered, and now we're going to add anchors, and we're also going to add clips on the top to hold it in place. We're using sturdy clips and the anchors bricks. Now you might say, Alice, I don't have a frost cloth, and when I went to the stores they were all sold out, so what can I do? Get pipe insulation and put a couple of wraps. You can go even higher than we have here, and then you can wrap that with a piece of cloth or plastic and just secure it. I would use duct tape to hold it in place. At least you're protecting where the graft is. Frequently the trees may die back, but they may die back to this level, so you're protecting what can then grow out again in the spring. If you're trying to protect plants in a garden, an in-ground garden, you can try putting stakes and the frost cloths or other kinds of cloth over them. The important part is to have the cloth secured on the ground and not touch the plants. Because as I've learned the hard way, and I'm sure some of you have, if the plant is touching the cloth, the part that's touching will freeze. For raised beds, you have an opportunity. Depending on the height of your raised bed, if you have some timbers, you can construct a frame that goes around part of your bed or all of your bed and use that to drape frost cloth over, and also in the summertime to put some of the shade protection for some of the tender plants that would get damaged from too much sun. You can do hoops and any kind of construction that you want. And when you're making your bed, I put soil in my bed to secure my blocks. But some people will put their timbers in first and then put soil around them because they are going to put covering over their beds. I chose not to do that because it's too much energy for me as a pretty senior gardener, and also for my husband. We're not particularly stable on the ladders, so we need to have things that we can manage within our physical capacities at this time. So that's a consideration when you're a senior gardener, that you do what you can with the energy and the equipment that you have. It's wonderful to have citrus in your yard and to be able to go out and snag a kumquat and clean it off and pop it in your mouth or make some kind of jelly out of it. But you have to think in terms of time and energy, and the fact that you may need more than just yourself if you're a single person trying to do this. Certainly it is possible. Neighbors could help, or if there's some landscape person or someone from your church or other organization who could come and help you put frost covers on your plants. You can see it does help to have two people. It goes better, and you don't want to do harm to yourself. Today it was about frost protection. Other videos you can check out are about prevention. Right plant, right place. Being sure that you water deeply before a freeze is coming, mulching like we did today, and planting your plants in areas where there's evergreen cover that can protect them if possible. Some people plant them in a microclimate area, which is a warmer area close to their home, or another structure such as a fence or a wall. So these are all the things to consider when you're trying to protect your plants. Good luck, and I'd love to hear from you about your experience. So please share in the comments, and if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Garden Yay! I'll see you again soon.